Hello, Francesca. How are you?
Hello, doing wonderful. How are you, Marisa?
Doing very, very well. Today is the fourth episode of Amá CONVERSA, and I appreciate you being here with me today. I just want to go ahead and start off by saying that Francesca Pro has been my best friend for 18 years. So thank you for putting up with me for almost 2 decades. It's
Oh
been
my God.
fantastic, to say the least.
It's been a wild ride. It's been great, though.
It's been a wild ride. So I have a little bit of notes, but we're just gonna keep this light and airy and comfortable, like a normal conversation like we would do. I call this sipping the tea with the bestie.
Tea
So we gonna be sipping the tea today. So if you can tell everyone that's listening here through the Palma Media app and through the Facebook page, can you let us know what is your name, where are you from, and just your age and a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Well, as Marisa said, my name is Francesca. I currently live in Watsonville, which is near Santa Cruz. Very beautiful ocean, breeze, good feelings. I let's see, what was it? What was the other question, Marissa?
How old are you?
I am 31 years young.
Oh my God, I like the way you answered that. 31 years young.
Yeah.
And just for the viewers, just a little fun fact here, but we are actually 1 month apart. So my birthday is September 30th and her birthday is October 31st. So she's a Halloween baby. And so we're literally like a month and a day apart. And then our babies are like a month and a half, because Emilia is September 22nd and then Enzo is November 30th.
November, yes.
So
and then that makes us all born around the same time too.
Yeah, so like we're born around the same time and then our kids are born around the same time. Yeah, and he's he's the last day of November when I'm the last day of September, you're the last day of October, and he's the last day of November. And then for Emilia's case, she was born on the 22nd, but if she would have been born on the 23rd, she would have been a Libra like me. But since she was literally the last day, she's Virgo. So, so she's Virgo, like a lot of nice people that I know, including my grandma and my grandpa were Virgos too. So, and they were great people. So nothing against Virgos, but of course, Libra is the best sign, right?
No, come on. Everyone knows it's Scorpio.
Scorpios. So yeah, so what about, what is your ethnicity? What is your background? Are you Portuguese, for the people that are listening?
I am not Portuguese. I am actually Italiana. I am first generation American. I was born here, but my blood is 100% Italian. Both my parents came here from Italy with my two sisters. So I was actually the firstborn here. They were all born in Italy and then came all the way across the states to California.
That is really...
In the 80s, I believe it was the early 80s.
Yes. So that must have been interesting, being the only American born in your family they immigrated from Italy. And where in Italy did they immigrate from?
So both my parents were from two different towns, but still very close together. The towns are about 25 minutes apart. They're located kind of central Italy, so about 35 miles south of Rome. The towns are called Fiuggi and Ferentino. Ferentino is more of like a farm working town, as opposed to Fiuggi, where it's like where people go to vacation. Cute small town, but more known and more well-traveled than the other town.
Got it. Cool. That's very awesome. So from your perspective of being a daughter of both parents that came from a different country that didn't speak the language, English, very well, and then you had your two older sisters, which they're in their 40s and you're 31, so it was kind of a little bit of an age gap there, right? And they also had to learn English too, right? So how do you feel
Correct.
being the only American born? Did you have to learn, obviously, did you have struggles learning English in school? And did you first start talking, obviously you spoke Italian, right? Sorry, I think we froze there a little bit.
Sorry, yeah, I heard, did you have to learn English? And then I didn't hear after that.
Yes, was it like difficult to learn English in school? And obviously your first language was Italian, correct?
Correct. So just by listening to me, you might not be able to tell that English was not my first language. I actually learned Italian first because my parents, when they came here in the early 80s, I was born in 89. So therefore they spoke some English, but they weren't obviously fluent in it or comfortable really speaking it. So at home, they would speak to me in Italian, same with my sisters. So actually, I was gonna be held back in elementary school because of, you know, the early grades, because I didn't, not that I didn't want to learn English, but I guess I was getting things confused when I was younger, certain words, or I only wanted to speak in Italian, not English. So, you know, they basically told my parents, hey, she needs to start participating and start speaking in English, or else we have to hold her back. So then after that is when I think, you know, I started speaking more English, but of course, grew up and raised here. I don't have any kind of accent, but my sisters do.
Yes, that's true. They do have a little bit of an accent.
Yes.
And then, so you speak Italian fluently, you speak English fluently. Is there any other languages that you speak fluently?
Yes, actually, I speak Spanish fluently as well, because growing up knowing Italian in high school, I took 4 years of Spanish.
Yes.
And still to this day, I do use it. I speak it. So that hasn't left me yet. I actually have a passion for languages. So I am working on my fourth language right now, which is Portuguese.
I'm so excited for that.
I should have known already, but you know, it's okay.
Just like the other day, I called Francesca and she was telling me that she was learning Portuguese. So,
bom dia.
Yes, she told me, bom dia, tens uma maçã, do you have an apple? I was like, oh my God, wow, look at you. Look at you.
Yes.
But
with time, I like I said, I love languages, so being able to connect with people is very important for me.
Yes, and I know one of the things that we always connect a lot about is that the Italian culture is very similar to the Portuguese culture. We have a lot of similarities that kind of like intertwine, and since we were 13, we always kind of knew that and liked that about one another, and that's kind of like how we got more involved with each other because, well, first off, not only did we kind of look similar, like the first day of freshman year, the first day of school, at a new school, I didn't know almost nobody at all because I went to Catholic school before that. And so when I went for the first time to public school, yes, it was like a culture shock. But then second of all, I didn't know anybody. And the people that I did know a little bit, they were older than me. So I don't think they really wanted to be with a freshman. So I was very happy that when I first saw you, I'm like, oh, a girl that looks like me, similar style. I sat right next to you, and then ever since that day, we became friends. But yeah, so the Italian culture is very similar, excuse me, to the Portuguese culture.
A1 from day one.
Yeah, from day one. A1 from day one. Shake and bake, baby.
Shake and bake.
And hold on real quick. My husband was at the refrigerator. My marido was at the refrigerator, and it's making noise because it's still open. So hold on real quick.
Holding on.
Of course, there's always something. And it's funny because some people will see this video on Facebook, but most of them will hear it only the audio through the radio app. So they're like, what's going on here? But yeah, so you love our culture, and I as well love the Italian culture. So we kind of came together with that. And recently you've been getting not only into Portuguese language, but you've been also getting into cooking. So you've been cooking some Portuguese food, and you cooked traditional Portuguese cozido. So tell us a little bit about your experience with that.
Oh my God. So I had tried it. Marisa's mother, her mother-in-law had made it for one of the parties, and I thought it was so simple but so delicious. And due to the weather and all that, I told Marisa, I'm gonna make this. And so one day I just went to the store, I gathered all the ingredients for it, and threw it all together in the pot and let it go, and it was so delicious.
It looked freaking delicious.
I sent I think before and after pictures to you.
Yes, you did. And I want to eat that right now.
I know, I do. I want some more right now.
It's literally one of my favorite dishes, to be honest. And your father, a few years back, he actually gave me a really, it's like a very well-known Portuguese cookbook. And he gave it to me, and there's tons of stuff in there that I want to learn. So hopefully me and you can start to exchange and start to experiment and see what we like. But I know that you have been with me throughout the years. You have been with me to some Portuguese festas. You have been to crab feeds, which, you know, that's like one of our favorite things. We have been to bullfights together, and you got to experience some Portuguese food, some Portuguese drinks, some Portuguese culture. So what were some of the foods that you got to try? And if you did like it, what did you like? And what kind of experiences or moments or memories do you remember from going to those Portuguese events?
Okay, first of all, I loved getting ready for these things.
Dude, honestly, I think getting ready for the festa is better than the festa.
Dude, yes, getting ready, like planning what you're gonna wear, what kind of makeup you're gonna put on, like, you know, that whole aspect of it is fun. But then, you know, once you get there, like, I always feel like I'm about to go to the fair or something. Like
you're just so excited for it, right?
I'm so excited because I love the culture of it. I love because me being Italian, in our community, like where we grew up, there was an Italian community, but it wasn't as big or as festive like the Portuguese ones. So I kind of was drawn to that because it's so magnifying, like all the people just immersed in the culture, the music, just everything about it I loved. Getting together with everybody, whether you know them or not, you're gonna get to know them. People just are so nice, just that wholesome like family vibe, you know?
Yeah.
And it reminds me of when I used to go to Italy and be in Italy during the summers, especially because people like to get together like that, or you'll walk down to the cafe bar, and there's elderly people playing cards outside, like with music. It's just a good time.
It's literally very similar. It's almost the same, kind of, in a way.
Yes, almost the same. So that's what I really enjoyed about those, and the atmosphere, and of course the bifanas. I
have a feeling you're gonna say bifanas.
I need to.
It was either gonna be bifanas,
like right now.
It's either gonna be bifanas, or you're gonna talk about linguiça, or you're gonna talk about
bread, like
six, or you're gonna talk about puratontas.
Oh, don't even get me started on the puratontas.
Yes, for people listening that are not from like the California Bay Area, we have a drink here within our Portuguese community that is called uma porra tonta, okay? And I don't like to say that very, very much because it's not a very nice term, but it is a very well-known drink. Just kind of like how we have the AMFs. That's not a very nice thing to say either, but it is a very popular drink.
It's a drink, come on.
Yeah. So this drink is literally just sumo, the maracuja, and maracuja is passion fruit. And it's that soda with vodka and ice. That's literally all it is. So if you want to try it, if you've never tried it before, let me know how you like it once you do have one.
So delicious.
Yes. Another thing, let's see here. What is something Portuguese that you want to try or that you saw that you're interested in? Like I know one time you tried octopus and that wasn't really your cup of tea.
No.
But at least
I was going to tell you that.
At least you did try the polvo. So
I do like seafood in general. Octopus, even like sushi style, I'm not a fan of. It's the texture.
Yeah.
Some things like eggplant, not my thing.
Yeah.
In Italy, we have a famous dish, la parmigiana, which is done with eggplant, and my mom loves that. Me, no, thank you. I'd rather have lasagna.
Yeah.
But the polvo, I will try anything and everything. I will try it. I'm not against trying it, but that was not my favorite. What's another thing I've been wanting to try? I don't know.
Did you ever have the sweet bread? Oh yeah, you did have the sweet bread. I think I brought you the sweet bread before.
I do. I like the sweet bread. I like the sweet breads. I do like the sweet breads. And I like that pudding, like the rice milk.
Oh yes, the rice milk. Arroz doce.
The arroz con leche. Yes.
Yes. See? Wow, look at you, little boo. Well, let me see. Have you ever visited Europe? And if so, how many times did you visit Europe and where did you go?
Oh, yes. I've been to Europe many times. Especially Italy, of course. We would literally travel there every year. So I've been there probably 20 plus times to Italy. You know, because sometimes we would go once a year. There was times we would go twice a year for most of my life. So
yes. So you grew up always going?
I would say like over 20 times. Now, correct, yeah. I think when I was a baby too, we might have lived there like my first year.
Got it.
I'm not sure about that actually, but we were there a lot. Went there a lot. Other than Italy, the only place I've been to actually visit would be France. I went to Paris. One of the year, I think it was 2014. We did our Italy trip, and then on the way back, we stopped in Paris for 4 days.
That must have been beautiful.
It was very beautiful, very different, very interesting. At the time it was kind of rainy, so Paris looked very like
romantic,
dark and gothic, but
ooh,
yes, like romantic but dark, but like yes, but very interesting, definitely worth checking out.
Yes. And then
yeah, that's the only places.
Oh, well, that's good. Italy and France then, right? And then next on the list would be correct. Portugal, obviously. Correct?
Yes, been wanting to do Portugal, yes.
So we're going to be wrapping this up in a few minutes, but I still wanted to get some stuff out of you. You are an artist, and you are an amazing artist. And honestly, I can say that I've missed your work. So I know that we were talking about it a little bit the other day, but you said that you want to get into it a little bit more. And I honestly cannot wait until you do, because you have a totally, even though we are similar, you have a totally different perspective when it comes to creation and art. And
yes,
there was a point in time when we actually used to paint together almost every day. And we did that for 2 years straight. and that was fantastic. I think we
I
created,
miss those days.
we
Yeah.
created, I don't know, maybe like 20 pieces a year or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it was a really fantastic time, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that because here at Amá CONVERSA, we not only are about music and culture, but we are about art as well. So I wanted to ask you, what were your influences for your art then? What are your influences for your art now?
So I'm kind of boring with that. My tastes haven't changed. My all-time two faves. Can you guess?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
I think one of your favorites is Salvador Dali, which
Yes.
is a surreal artist. And
Correct.
your second artist, I'm not quite sure, but there is a famous artist in somewhere in Europe that is a famous spray painter. Which I
Oh.
can't think of his name right now, but he's extremely famous. I think it's
Oh
like
yes.
a
And it's not Banksy, right?
Banksy. Yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah, Banksy. Now he is very good. I did like that style. I practiced a little bit of that style as well back,
Yep.
in like high school, a little bit after high school. But to me, spray painting, stenciling, I like more of the actual painting.
Yes.
So yes, you're right. Salvador Dali is my favorite, still is my favorite. And also Van Gogh. I love Van Gogh.
Oh, I didn't know that about you. I just
Yes.
email.
And when I was younger, I think it was 7th grade, I actually made a Starry Night tile. So like it's a
Makes
picture I
sense.
painted.
You were wearing a Starry Night shirt the other day.
Yes. So I made this tile and it like shrinks down. So I made like my own version of the Starry Night, and I'm really bummed I don't have that anymore. But yes, Van Gogh is one of my favorites, and I love the whole surrealism art style. It fascinates me a lot.
Yes, because it makes you kind of analyze. It makes you dig deeper than the surface. So
Exactly. There could be way more to it than what you
yeah, it
see.
could be something for you, but then it could be something totally different for me. And usually that is the case, that we find.
Exactly. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder type of thing,
Exactly. And then on the same subject as art, what are your favorite mediums to use?
So my favorite has always been acrylic, just because you could do things and use it on so many different surfaces. So I've always been a fan of acrylic. One of my least favorite would be watercolor, but maybe because I haven't mastered that. I don't know.
Yes. That is a difficult one too. I honestly haven't mastered it either. But for me, I'm the same as you. I love acrylic. And I know exactly why I like acrylic, because it sets quick and then I have a finished product quick, and that's definitely my personality. And not to change the subject a little bit, but that I think that's why my father is also able to produce a lot of paintings quickly, because he also likes acrylic as well. And it's kind of like once you finish it, you feel like you've conquered something.
Yes.
For me, that's why I like acrylic, because it sets faster than oil, for example, and you're able to have that finished product in your tangible hands.
Yes, and even if you don't, or even if you don't have it finished, you could still add on and it'll be fine, because you'll have your first layer of whatever you wanted to do.
Yes, exactly, 100%. And then another thing, excuse me, now we're going to talk a little bit real quick about, sorry, I knew that was going to happen to me. We are amongst the coronavirus, so have my little water there ready to go. But one of my favorites, which which this is not about art now, I'm switching over to music, is Amália Rodrigues, who was a very famous Fadista. And this program, the first 3 letters of the program is named after her, Amá, so Amá CONVERSA. And there was actually a time that, because she spoke a lot of languages too, just like you. She actually spoke Italian, English, Spanish, and French, and Portuguese. And
Oh, wow.
that's 5 languages, and I think that was all.
Dang.
And she spoke them all very well. And there was a time that she stayed in France and she did a lot of music there and she did a lot of shows. But there was also a time that she stayed in Italy and she made an album there. She recorded an album there and she did a lot of songs in Italian. And I will definitely be featuring those songs here on the program. But I also want to feature some songs, your favorite Italian songs, on the program as well. I know that there's one that you love a lot that's Vero Italiano, I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Sono l'italiano.
Yes, that one. So I'll be sure to play that song. And I really liked the idea of you being my manager in the future, especially your language skills, your Spanish and your Italian. That would
I would love
really
to
come in handy, maybe in the future, a Euro trip. Or a Euro tour, I say, a pop-up tour. But I also have enjoyed smuling with you. You have a new account on Smule.
Yes.
Which, if you want to smule with me, my name is Marisa, Marisa Rocha, Rocha 22. And then yours, I forgot your name, but it's similar, right? Francesca.
I think it might just be Francesca Pro. I think it's 22 as well.
Yeah, 22, yes.
Oh,
okay, cool. And then, so you also love music, you love karaoke, you love to sing. And that's another thing how we also connected when we were younger, because we loved music. We were like little rockers. So we definitely connected first off, right off the bat, with the music. So, and we've shared that experience this whole 18 years. I remember there was plenty of times in class or for field trips that we would share the earbuds, like you had a little iPod and we would share the earbuds and we would sing or we would do whatever. And I definitely always remember that. And, is there anything else that you would like us to know? And by the way, people listening, I'm going to have her here another time because, as you can see, we love to talk with each other and we can go on and on with different topics. But is there anything else initially that you would like any of the listeners to know?
Well, let's see.
Sorry, I put you on the spot there.
You did. It's okay. Basically, like, I know I'm just trying to think of something to say so I don't sound, you know, but
well, you're gonna be making some art, and then in the future, we're gonna be showcasing that.
In the future, we're going to showcase that. We're going to be doing some really good things here. Marisa and I and us together. And just don't give up. Like, anybody out there listening, like, it's been a rough year. It's been crazy. You might have discovered some things about yourself and just go with it. Write it. 2021 is coming up here and it's going to be amazing.
Oh my God. If I could love that right now, I'll give you some heart emojis.
Hearts.
Well, thank you so much, Francesca, for being on Amá CONVERSA, powered by Palma Media. And I hope to have you back soon. And we will be sharing your favorite songs with the listeners. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.